You've already shown you're someone who doesn't just follow the crowd. This video isn't for everyone. It's for the curious, the rebels, the thinkers. So if you're still here, let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes. Now let's talk about forbidden fruit. There's something undeniably enticing about it, isn't there? It's like a delicious piece of cake under a glass cover just out of reach. The more we're told we can't have it, the more we want it. And you, my friend, have demonstrated that same audacity by clicking on this video. You've already taken a bite of that forbidden fruit, defying the title's command not to watch. Perhaps it's the thrill of rebellion, the sweet taste of resistance that lures us in. Or maybe it's the simple human desire to push boundaries, to test limits, to see what lies beyond the "do not enter" sign. Ever wondered why the forbidden fruit is always the most tempting? Today, you're going to find out why we crave what we're told to avoid. Before we go any further, listen carefully. I have placed approximately $100 worth of Ethereum in this public Ethereum address. The private key for this address will be displayed in 4 chunks, not necessarily in order, during the remainder of this video. I may or may not also throw in 1 or 2 decoy chunks. If you can solve this puzzle, then you would, in theory, have the ability to take the Ethereum. However, do not take the Ethereum. I repeat, do not take it. Do not. Now that you're here, let's delve into why we humans are so inclined to do what we're told not to. You see, the human mind is a fascinating piece of machinery, full of paradoxes and contradictions. One of the most intriguing aspects is our propensity to rebel against commands and seek out the very things we are explicitly forbidden from doing. Let's start with the concept of reverse psychology. This is a technique where a person is encouraged to do something by being told to do the opposite. The idea is that when we're told not to do something, it can make the forbidden action seem more appealing. This is because we inherently value our freedom of choice, and when it appears threatened, we're more likely to exercise it by doing the very thing we're told not to. Then there's the forbidden fruit syndrome. It's a term that originates from the biblical story of Adam and Eve, who were unable to resist the fruit they were told not to eat. This syndrome refers to the human tendency to chase after things that are off-limits or taboo. The forbidden fruit becomes more desirable, simply because it is forbidden. The allure of the unknown, the thrill of the illicit, all contribute to making the forbidden fruit more tantalizing. However, it's not all about defiance for the sake of it. Sometimes breaking the rules can lead to innovation and progress. After all, many of the world's greatest discoveries and advancements were made by those who dared to question the status quo and break away from the norm. But why are we so drawn to defiance? Well, psychologists suggest that it could be rooted in our innate desire for autonomy and control. By defying instructions, we are asserting our independence and demonstrating our ability to make our own decisions. From Pandora's box to the legend of Icarus, history is filled with those who defied the do not warnings. Intriguing, isn't it? Defying instructions can have consequences, but it also has an undeniable allure. Let's explore why. As we step into the realm of rebellion, we find ourselves teetering on the edge of a precipice. On one side lies the thrill of disobedience, the intoxicating rush of adrenaline that accompanies the breaking of rules. It's a rush that's as old as humanity itself, a primal urge that harks back to our very first act of defiance, the biting of that notorious forbidden fruit. It's a feeling of liberation, a sense of triumph over the constraints that bind us. It's the sweet satisfaction of proving a point, of standing up and saying, "I won't be told what to do." And it's this thrill, this sense of empowerment, that often fuels progress and innovation. After all, where would we be without the rebels? Without the rule breakers and the boundary pushers, without the Galileos and the Einsteins, the Rosa Parks and the Martin Luther Kings? These were individuals who dared to defy, who chose to challenge the status quo, and in doing so they changed the world. But the allure of rebellion is a double-edged sword. For every triumph there's a tragedy. For every fruitful act of defiance there's a Pandora's box of potential pitfalls waiting to be unleashed. Take Icarus, for example. His defiance of his father's instructions led to his downfall. His ambition to soar higher, to break free from the rules, ended in disaster. And while his story is a myth, it's a potent reminder of the potential consequences of rebellion. Then there's the tale of the Titanic, a ship built on the belief that it could defy the laws of nature, that it was unsinkable. We all know how that ended. Its defiance led to disaster, a stark reminder of the dangers of overconfidence and disregard for rules. So, while breaking rules can lead to great things, it's also a risky gambit. But then again, where's the fun in always doing what you're told? And so, my friend, we have arrived at the end of the video. Did you do the thing I earlier told you not to do? Did you defy my instructions? If you don't know what I'm talking about because you skipped to the end of this video, then good. You have done the right thing. Do not go back to find that thing. Do not do it. Do not. And above all else, do not take the money.